CJ Wilson, you did it. You have come and joined the WeatherTech Championship. Hey, what took you so long? All kidding aside, after a successful Continental Tire Series program, what was it that made you say, okay, now is the time to come play in the top category?
I don't know. I think, we've always wanted to do this. It's been a matter of time, and it just seemed the right time to jump forward with the GT4 class getting inundated with brands that we don't represent, with Mercedes and Mustang and stuff. It just didn't feel right to be there, this year, given the fact that we would have had to reinvest, buy new cars and all that stuff. We're like, well, if we're going to get a new car, and we might as well do this, and do a limited program in GTD. It's the same schedule effectively. We know the tracks, we know the other people. A lot of us have, interacted in the paddock. It's a small little carnival of people that travel around together, so we kind of know what we're getting into. The biggest thing is that, it's a new car, so we just have to figure out what the right kind of expectations for learning the car and how we're going to get the most out of it, because there's always little secret sauce in there.
So you and I have had a number of conversations in recent years about business model, what may or may not work. You have a number of your own dealerships that are growing and building. You're able to take some of your Conti clients to bring them up. Was that really the collision of both making sense on the dealership promotional side plus having clients that did want to invest into this?
Yes, because obviously Till has been kind of pushing this program forward a little bit. He wanted to do NAEC this year, so he was like, listen, this is what I want to do. So we're like, okay, he's committed, we can commit, let's move forward. We have a really good relationship with a lot of various partners outside of the traditional ones, and so we're able to kind of, I guess, roll it together a little bit differently. Plus, doing a spread out season with the NAEC, it allows us to have a lot of time in between to kind of spread out our testing or spread out our fundraising or whatever we have to do in the meantime.
So I know we're talking about you've done one practice session so far, so I don't want to get you on the hook for anything too big future-wise, but knowing that you've been looking at what makes sense before making this jump here, what are the things you're looking at to decide if this were to expand beyond NAEC? Is it purely funding? Is it how competitive you guys might be? What makes that next step for you become something you decide on?
It's not just one ingredient. It's always a multiple choice question, and sometimes all of the above is the answer. If Till proves to be as competitive as he wants to be, because it's a lot of it, him and I are in the same boat in a lot of ways where, we both have lucrative day jobs that we have to go stay at in order to make the money so we can afford to go race. And, if he's on the level that he wants to be at, then it's going to be encouraging. And he's going to kind of try to keep pushing for that, because his goal is to go to Le Mans and do the same stuff, which is the same goal as me. So eventually, ideally, what we'd want to do is have a two-car team in this paddock where we can run two sports cars side by side and then kind of benefit from economies of scale at that point. Obviously, any kind of manufacturer involvement or sponsor or partner involvement works really well. A lot of our fundraising comes through business-to-business stuff, so we act as an agent for a couple people trying to put a transaction together. I got my phones are buzzing right now,
It's Roger Penske wanting you to run a Acura DPI next year.
Yeah, sure. Raj, I'm on it.
We're talking.
Yeah, but the big challenge is really do we want to stay in sports cars or do we want to run prototypes? Because at the end of the day, running a limited program in various other places around the world, the LMP2 process is a lot more straightforward to go to Le Mans because and you have a chance to compete for overall wins.
Sure.
Very shortly in the future, I think. I think that although the LMP1 category has its merits, without manufacturers slugging it out, I think the pure speed of an LMP2 car it's a spectacle to watch. The cars make great noises. They're relatively inexpensive. And you can kind of hop in and drive them because they have still enough driver aids to kind of let the fast Formula car kid or the fast sports car guy can kind of evolve into that. And seeing what some of seeing United and seeing their success and their process at that, it gives me a lot of hope. And I actually raced for United a little bit last year, so I've been talking to Richard Dean about that process. I've talked to Bill Riley a lot and just sort of kind of get a feel for how the paddock works on this side and everywhere else. And we have to explore all options always.